shame. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to February 6, 2025. My name is Nick. There's Big J right over there.
Yeah.
We're ready for Thursday's show. And Big J, do you remember how busy yesterday was?
I do. Yeah.
Take a carbon copy of that and paste it on the 6th because we are equally as busy.
Oh.
Same amount of giveaways. We have yet another concert announcement, Big J.
Mm-hmm.
Another wonderful person is stopping by our studio this morning to talk about something cool going on in the Treasure Valley. This time, it has taken on the form of our friend Jeff Augusta from Zoo Boise to talk about a little Valentine's Day thing they have called Woo at the Zoo. Now, Big J, we talked about Woo at the Zoo last year. What do you retain from that conversation?
Not much.
Oh, no.
No, that was a year ago, dude. Forget about that.
Well, listen, now we got to yell at Jeff for not doing his job because that's supposed to stick in people's memories when he comes on and talks about this stuff. And if it's not happening with you, how can we expect it to be happening with listeners?
Take too high of a standard. That's where you're starting off in the wrong place.
For those of you unfamiliar, Woo at the Zoo is a wonderful kind of experience focused on the love that is happening on a regular basis at Zoo Boise. It's a little fun Valentine's Day event that you can go to on the 13th and have a little bit of fun and learn about, the mating habits of your favorite animals. Learn a little bit about something that happens. Yeah, I mean, just real, raw animal love. And then there's a really cool experiences happening there as well. And, of course, you have an opportunity to name a cockroach there at the zoo after whoever you want to name it after. But, listen, I don't want to steal any of Jeff's thunder. I've told you too much already, hoping to kickstart something in your head, and I don't know if it worked or not. So I will leave all the details to Jeff, who will be popping by in the 8 o'clock hour. But know this, you will know what Woo at the Zoo is before we're done today, Big J.
Damn right.
And then your job will be to remember it for next year.
Okay. I'll make a note of it.
And we'll see how
Put it
you
in
do.
my calendar for 1 year.
Because you will be tested and graded. And if you don't figure it out or remember, penalties will be created and enforced. And so on top of that, we also have a bunch of things to give away today, including Disturbed tickets. That's a pretty big deal, Big J. I'm not sure if you're aware or not. We have a chance to talk to you about the big game party that we're going to have on Sunday at Sturman's and Eagle. We want you to invite you to that. We also have an opportunity to give you your first opportunity. If you haven't heard, we have an exclusive pre-sale for Pop Evil today. We'll give you the details on that before we sign off this morning. So, yeah, it's a busy Thursday show, man. I don't make this stuff up as I go. And, of course, we also play music on top of that, so it gets even cooler. Stone Temple Pilots kicking us off this morning. It's sex-type thing. Like Woo at the Zoo, Big J. Woo! On the X-Rocks.
News. Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by our big game party coming up on Sunday at Sturman's and Eagle. God, you're invited. We want to see you there, for crying out loud. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. Big J and I will be out there beginning at 2:30 for our pregame broadcast. You can come on by and hang with us that early if you'd like. You can learn all about the cool things. You can sign up and be a part of the X's Super Square Pool. That is absolutely totally free. There's no cover to get into Sturman's either. This whole party is completely free. Just come on out and hang out with us. And part of our Super Square Pool, you'll have an opportunity to win some Disturbed tickets, some Killswitch Engage tickets, autographed guitar for Highly Suspect, autographed that you have to see to believe, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Autographed guitar to Breaking Benjamin, Stained as well. It's going to be awesome. And then Sturman's is taking 20% off your entire order of alcoholic beverages there. They have a full bar. They also have beers and seltzers on there that you can check out. And, Big J, the advocates have been nice enough. If you guys come out to Sturman's and maybe have a little bit too much, we don't want you drinking and driving. We have some Uber gift cards to give away while we're out there as well, so that you can get a safe ride home from Sturman's if you want to party it up for us, with us, at the big game party. So there's lots of prizes, tons of TVs. You won't miss a minute of the action. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. It begins at 2:30, kickoffs at 4:30. You want to be there before then to take part in the X's Super Square Pool, but join us at Sturman's and Eagle. 805 East Plaza Drive is where you can find us, and plenty of parking there as well. So come on out and join us on Sunday for the big game with our big game party. The numbers are in, Big J, and 2024, the third consecutive busiest year ever for Boise Airport. Last year saw nearly 5 million passengers come through the turnstiles there at the airport, up 5% from the previous record. That was set in 2023. Total number of passengers increased by over 238,000.
Damn.
So we are up to 4,990,885 bodies passing through the Boise Airport. And I'm sure, Big J, they counted you a couple of times because you went on some flights.
I did.
That, by the way, is nearly as many people that live in the entire city of Boise. So it's a lot of people.
The extra.
Yes.
Yeah.
The airport is expanding its facilities to accommodate the 81% passenger increase in the last 10 years. On busy days, about 10,000 passengers swing through the airport, Big J. That is a lot of people coming through our little teeny tiny Boise airport, and they need to work on that, and they're trying to. So that's just making sure that everybody has room to park. The current facilities are undersized to meet this demand. If you've ever gone to the Boise airport, you don't need anybody to tell you that. It is harder to find a place to park. It is more difficult for long-term parking. They're working on all that kind of stuff. They're also building a whole new terminal that'll have 10 additional gates that will also increase the amount of flights that come through and all sorts of other stuff. So they're working on it.
When I got back from my trip the other week, a gentleman coming up was very concerned of where the luggage carousel was.
Uh-huh.
Like which one is going to have his stuff. And I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's only 3.
There's 4.
Oh, there's 4?
But it's like, you're not going to have to guess.
Yeah.
Okay? It's still not like Atlanta. There's like 17. I mean, it was trying to find it was ridiculous.
I know. We still are going to be a smaller airport no matter how much they try to build onto that thing.
Yeah.
But it is very undersized for the amount of traffic that comes through it on a regular basis. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, that's for sure. The trade of Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers has been very unpopular with the Dallas Mavericks fans, so much so that the team is reportedly offering some season ticket holders refunds to keep them coming to games. A couple of fans told Dallas area reporters they were offered a refund of $2,000 if they agreed to hang on to the seats. The Mavericks haven't confirmed the offer, but did tell ESPN that they value every season ticket member relationship, and reps are available to take calls with any concerns or questions. But this, since it happened, has been gone down as maybe one of the worst trades in NBA history for a team. And there's no details really as to why they wanted to get rid of a 25-year-old superstar, just a bunch of rumors. But this appears to be not just, bad trade.
He's devastated by this. He just spent $15 million buying a new home in Dallas, like last month.
Yeah. Everybody was blindsided by it. But, the fans have taken to the streets, and they're not very happy about it. It's just really bad. Now, I haven't heard it. Has Mark Cuban said anything about this?
I haven't seen him say anything about it. But
okay.
he's not really, he's still part of the ownership group, but not, he doesn't have a lot of say in it anymore.
He doesn't come to the games or anything? I don't follow the Mavericks basketball that much.
I haven't seen him. He's been mostly talking about his prescription service.
Oh, okay. Well, too bad he can't be reached for comment. Big J, I don't remember what you thought about Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I know we did a podcast about it.
It was okay.
Do you remember the grade you gave it?
I probably gave it like a B-.
Have you tried to revisit it since seeing it in the theater?
I haven't, no.
Okay. Harrison Ford knows that movie wasn't very good, but he doesn't care that nobody went to go see it, because not only did it not perform well, from a critic standpoint or a fan standpoint, it also, remember, Big J, straight up bombed at the box office. And he said, hey, bleep happens, when he was talking to the Wall Street Journal about his career retrospective. He said that he knows it's not a very good movie, but he's happy that he made that movie so he can stop making Indiana Jones movies. He hates all of his characters that he's played more than once, from Han Solo to Indiana Jones. Anybody that he's had to suit up more than once, he's not really much of a fan of. He likes to just play a character and move on, Big J. I wonder if that extends to his television shows. See, I don't really hear him like bad-mouthing Shrinking or that Yellowstone prequel he's in.
What's Shrinking?
Shrinking's on Apple TV. It's fantastic. It's got Jason Segel in it and him, and they both play psychologists that are going through their own stuff. I do not recommend it to you. However, I believe it would be triggering to you. Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Just the title sounds dumb. So
it's about psychologists, Big J. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your first round of important stuff. It is the X Rocks.
Here's traffic.
That is Blur, song number 2 here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Big J, there is something that Instagram used to do, and it got rid of for a couple of years because really it was deemed a little bit too creepy, and everybody was kind of like creeped out by it. But as we have reached a point where Meta is now kind of putting their middle finger up at everything, they're bringing it back, Big J. And it was a feature that caused a lot of arguments and incidents, usually in relationships. But you might remember the feature. It was the thing that used to have random things, both in Facebook and in Instagram, that popped up that let you see what your friends liked. Like you could have.
I have been noticing that. Yeah,
there's a window that popped up and said, "Oh, your friend liked this post."
Yeah, you've been liking a lot of weird stuff, by the way.
You're damn right I have. I want to take this to the extreme so that everybody thinks, "What the hell is going on with this dude?" But it gives you an opportunity to see the likes of your friends, and it gives you another window that you can look at to see what actual posts and stuff that they liked on their actual profile. And it is back. They have brought back this particular thing. When it comes to reels of things on Instagram and videos on Facebook, users will start to see an icon at the bottom left of reels that shows a heart and a profile icon indicating which one of your friends liked it. And they do believe this will probably cause a lot of relationships to get into some arguments with one another. And it was a reason why it went away originally, because people were like, hey, that's kind of like not cool for you to do that stuff. I don't have a problem with it. I mean,
I don't even remember that being a thing.
You don't?
Yeah.
I remember when it went away and everybody was like, yeah, that's pretty creepy. I didn't even know you could do that. A lot of people didn't know. Of course, they don't know this feature exists, that you could do it. But the people that did were the ones that used to take advantage of it. So they got rid of it for a couple of years, but now it's back, Big J. So you can creepily stalk your friends once again and find out what kind of reels and videos on Facebook they're into and enjoying. So be careful what you tap that heart icon on, unless you want all of your friends to know what kind of videos you look at. This is a reminder. This is a thing on Twitter. Remember, like, you know, you had like for a while there was that whole tab that showed you what tweets you like, and public figures are getting in trouble for liking pornography.
I think President Obama got in trouble.
I think
for
everybody
something
did. I remember there was a new Gingrich thing, and there was all sorts of stuff. It wasn't the first time. It was just got a whole bunch of people in trouble for the stuff that they like. So listen, we're doing this as a public service. If you don't have anything to be creepy about, then you have nothing to worry about. But this is back, and
if
it's
you're
going to be
doing creepy stuff, just own it.
Yeah, own it.
Just be creepy.
As long as you're not breaking the law.
Yeah.
Please don't do that kind of creepy. I'll reiterate that for Big J. Morning After with Nick and Big J, a nerd alert, courtesy of Big J. That's next on the X Rocks.
Talk to the nerds. Nerd Talk.
The best in tech and gaming. Big J's Nerd Alert on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Hey, we're about to find out a whole bunch more about the Switch 2 from Nintendo. Now, Nintendo Direct has set up a time and date for that reveal. 6 a.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, April 2nd, Nick. So Nintendo has said it will use this Nintendo Direct to share a closer look at the Switch 2 following its drive-by reveal on the console last month. The reveal offered a look at the Switch 2 form factor, a glimpse at what it looks like, Mario Kart 9, and teased the potential mouse mode for that new Joy control. But there's still a number of unanswered questions about the Switch 2, including what the mysterious new Joy-Con button does, how powerful the console is, etc. That Nintendo Direct will also hopefully give us a full Switch 2 launch lineup of games, as well as a release date, which is expected to be at some point between June and September of 2025. Fingers crossed Nintendo announces a Switch 2 price, which analysts are predicting around $400, Nick. So
now the criticism that I saw, I don't know anything about this, so you'll have to excuse me, but a lot of the things that I've seen is there doesn't appear to be a lot of differences between the Switch 1 and the Switch 2.
I mean, they look almost the same.
Right. And so people are like, do we need to buy this whole new unit for whatever it is they're doing? There doesn't seem to be much of an upgrade, but I'm sure Nintendo will be rolling out some details.
Under the hood, it will be completely different, I'm sure. EA is ready to take the wraps off the next Battlefield. The publisher shared a brief glimpse of footage from an alpha version of the game as part of the announcement video for Battlefield Labs. Now, it's a new early access program that will give fans a taste of in-development Battlefield before it launches. Battlefield Labs is designed to let Battlefield's developers test concepts and experiences before the next Battlefield game is released. And according to a press release announcing the program, developers hope to collect feedback on what the release describes as a critical part of the game's development. Anyone participating in Battlefield Labs will be under an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, and for everything that they'll see and do in the game. Regular people using an NDA, I mean, that's hilarious to me.
Right.
So, I mean, I've seen some video of this, and boy, I'm telling you, it looks like back to the old days of Battlefield.
Which is what you liked.
Yeah, the part of it that is missing from the 2042 is the destructibility. Like, the landscapes, the buildings could be destroyed in Battlefield, which is really cool and interesting. That's going to be coming back. I tried to sign up for labs, and it was like a really long process, so I abandoned it altogether. And like, yeah, I'll just play it when it comes out. EA revealed that Battlefield 6 will be coming out in 2026 fiscal year. Now, that means somewhere between April 1st of 2025 and March 31st of 2026. That's a big span of time, but they're trying to stay out of the way of GTA 6. So they said, we'll pivot if when they announce that, and that's somewhere around our release date, we don't want nothing to do with that.
Sure, that makes sense.
So we can look forward to
We still don't have a hard
Battlefield.
release date for GTA 6, right?
No, and everybody's waiting for that second trailer, so it's got to be happening here soon, but who knows when that's going to happen. One more thing here. Amazon is set to show off some new stuff later this month. The company has scheduled a device event for February 26th there in New York City. The company's hardware chief, Panos Panay, and his devices and services team will be on hand. That'll start at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. The event invitation that Amazon sent out to media doesn't give much away, but it includes the date, the Amazon Smile Arrow logo, and a tagline that reads, "See what's next." Woo. But they're thinking next-gen Alexa is going to be a part of this, and Amazon may have new audio gear to show off as well, with new Echo speakers and Echo Buds that could be on the agenda.
All right.
So if you're into all that stuff, it's coming up here in February 26th.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There is your Nerd Alert coming up in a few minutes. We got some important stuff as well as We're Going to Hell. It is the X Rocks.
Here's traffic.
Important stuff
Launch newsfeed.
on the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Important stuff brought to you by the Pita Pit. Coming up on Friday, the X invites you to be our guest to enjoy some of Boise's best Mediterranean fast food with an opportunity to score $50 of it for just $25 with the Be Our Guest deals happening at xrock.com. It starts this Friday. Tomorrow, 9 o'clock, xrock.com is when you can get it. Pita Pit has a location on Meridian or in Broadway as well. They have something for everyone. If you want their famous chicken bacon ranch pita or the spicy buffalo chicken or the classic super Greek, it's all there for you. Maybe even you want to get creative. They got smoked pork, they got falafel, they got Slovakia, they got everything you need to make it delicious. And if you want it on the lighter side, there's a little bit of quinoa there for you too. And the grilled cheese is Big J approved as well. So check it out. Pita Pit, be our guest tomorrow, 9 o'clock, xrock.com. Grab $50 of it for just $25. That's what we recommend to you. Big J, am I dreaming? Did you at one point go on a juice cleanse? Did you not do that?
No, I don't think so. I wouldn't do that.
Okay. It's good news because researchers at Northwestern University are saying exactly that. They examined juice-based diets' effect mostly on your gut. And they found out that 26% of Americans at some point have tried a juice cleanse for health reasons. It appears those diets, Big J, have a dark side. The juice-based diets were associated with lots of inflammation inside your gut, and just 3 days of juicing could increase a bunch of harmful bacteria in your mouth, Big J, and it doesn't give you a lot of fiber, and so that leads to microbiome imbalances. You know what that means, Big J, right?
No, what?
You can't poop.
Oh, no!
Stocks you all up. It's not good. Now, there are some elimination diets that do help with your gut bacteria. Things like avoiding processed foods, avoiding alcohol, and avoiding caffeine. Those are all good, but when you drink or ingest only of one thing, it's rare that that is a smart thing for your body, if that makes sense. You may see what you think are benefits, i.e. losing weight, but odds are you're turning your insides into some sort of mush, and then you're like, yeah, I haven't crapped in 18 days, but you know what? I've lost like 15 pounds. One of those things is not good. You understand, Big J, right?
Yeah, I totally get that.
You need to go to the bathroom on a fairly regular basis, so keep that in mind if that's something that you're messing around with. Big J, I don't have to tell you Pete Alonso is one of the best home run hitters in baseball, do I?
Yeah, you do.
He and the New York Mets agreed on a 2-year, $54 million contract, according to ESPN, and so he will stay with the only team he has played for. The deal is pending a physical, but that includes an opt-out after the first season, but apparently he'll make about $30 million this year. The 30-year-old who has 226 home runs since his 2019 debut, second in Major League Baseball in that time, behind only Aaron Judge's 232. He is heading back to Queens to join a lineup that added outfielder Juan Soto, but I don't have to tell you that because he signed a record-breaking 15-year, $765 million contract this winter. You remember that, don't you?
Cha-ching.
When you're talking money, Big J's in the actual wheelhouse, but stats, not so much.
No.
But congratulations to Pete Alonso, who isn't going anywhere. We have the Oscars coming up, Big J. The telecast is going to be hosted by Conan O'Brien. It's set for March 2nd, and now we know some of the presenters, and probably shouldn't surprise anybody. It's a lot of the people that won the statues last year. Emma Stone, Cillian Murphy, Divine Joy Randolph, Robert Downey Jr., all right now presenters for the 2025 ceremony. Of course, they all won the acting awards last year. It's the 97th version of the Oscars. Fans will have the option to watch the ceremony live on ABC or stream it on Hulu for the first time ever. And there is a big competition as to who's going to win the Best Picture, Big J. Everybody thinks The Brutalist. Is that what you think as well?
The Brutal. I have no idea.
Will it beat out A Complete Unknown, huh?
Probably.
Do you care?
No.
Do you even know what I think you know what The Complete Unknown's about, right?
Yeah, that's the Bob Dylan story with Timothy Chalamet.
And do you know what The Brutalist is about?
It's Adrian Brody looking great, as always.
Oh, okay. They think he's going to win Best Actor, too. Sounds like you'd be happy for him.
Look out, Adrian.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. I wanted you to get there, and you did. We got ourselves some We're Going to Hell. It is next on the X Rocks.
Here's traffic inside the
What the hell is this?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Salt Lake City is where we're going for today's We're Going to Hell story, Big J.
Salt Lake City?
And fair warning, today's story doesn't end well for somebody.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Listen, don't apologize to me. Apologize to the dude that was hanging out with his buddy on Sunday, on Groundhog's Day, and they were having a couple adult beverages, Big J. Maybe they were partaking in other extracurricular activities as well.
Oh.
And they started talking about just being a dude, you know, living it up in Utah. What can you do? What can't you do? What are some of the things that you enjoy doing? And they both have a tendency to enjoy firing guns, Big J. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I mean, Utah, very 2A friendly state.
And so one of them says to their other friend, hey. Have I told you about my power? He's like,
I can catch bullets with my mouth.
what are you talking about?
Please, no, don't do that.
He goes, yeah, I'm pretty fast, man. What are you, like the Flash fast?
What are you, Remo Williams?
Oh, deep cut.
Love that move.
And he says, I can dodge bullets. And his other friend says, no way. He goes, yeah, no, I can. Prove it. And so out they go to the garage, Big J, both of them with their own handgun.
Oh, man. We're going to use mine, not yours, just to make sure.
And drunkenly start shooting guns inside of their garage.
Unbelievable.
Now, it gets even more unbelievable because I don't know the parameters. I don't know how they were doing it. But here's what I do know. Apparently, this guy was able to dodge being shot 5 times.
Oh.
So,
good job.
There's that. But on the 6th time, Big J was not so lucky. Apparently, his friend got him right in the chest. So, so they were dodging bullets, probably having fun, and then the 6th one lands right square in the middle of his chest. He falls to the ground and he says, oh, call 911, you shot me. And so he does. And while he's on the phone with 911, he starts giving his friend medical attention. By the time police and medical people arrived, Big J, his friend had passed on. So he had succumbed to his injuries. So unfortunately, he cannot dodge bullets. Or maybe he could, but just didn't dodge that last one. But apparently they each unloaded a gun at each other during this particular session in the garage, and the last
they almost
one
made it through. That would have been, that would have been bad too, because then they think that they could do it all the time.
Right. Either way, this is a bad idea from the word go. I do not know how much alcohol was consumed or other things. All I know is that's how the night ended, and it didn't work. So, unfortunately, now his friend is being taken into custody on a lot of different charges, because you cannot just do that. There's manslaughter involved here at the very least, and all sorts of other charges involved. So, a reminder, if one of you guys, if you're hanging out drunkenly with your friends and they say something that involves superpowers or what you feel might be outlandish and incredibly dangerous, go ahead and play the "oh, cool" card and don't say "prove it." Because usually when "prove it" happens, that's when terrible things follow not too far behind. If your friend says, "hey man, I can fly," don't say "prove it." That's how your friend's going to jump off a roof and die.
Especially when you're loaded.
Yes. And so a reminder that there needs to be, it's not always easy when the two of you are drunk to the high heavens. It's tough for cooler heads to prevail in that situation, but boy, you got to give it the college try.
Yeah. I say in honor of this, honor Fred Ward, and see Remo Williams. The adventure begins.
Yeah, it ends better for Fred Ward. Spoilers.
That old Chinese guy.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X Rocks. Big J, that is lit, and my own worst enemy here on the X Rocks. Of course, Big J, it's always nice when we can have a chance to let people know what's going on in the world. How about another concert announcement?
It's another 100.3, the X concert announcement.
Big J, who's coming to town now?
Man, one of our favorites of all time. I don't know when or where it happened, but we became best friends with these guys, and it's been wonderful ever since. April 2nd, coming to the Revolution Concert House and Event Center is our good buddies Underoath.
Oh, man, it is so nice to have these guys back. They are getting ready to release some new music. Wait until you hear their new song. Man. It is so stinking good. But in the meantime, enjoy an older version of Underoath. I'm sure you're going to hear this song on the playlist. This is I Hate It on the X Rocks. Underoath, I Hate It here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J, all part of our concert announcement. Hey, Big J, give us the details again, please.
Yeah, you know what? The 100.3 The X Rocks' 30th anniversary concert series, proud to present Underoath, April 2nd at the Revolution Concert House and Event Center. Underoath is going to be headlining. It's a one-off show for them on that Papa Roach tour, and they are excited to come in here, and they're going to hang out with us to do an X session as well. So
yeah, it's already confirmed.
It's going to be a fantastic day, April 2nd. So tickets go on sale Friday, 10 a.m.
Yeah, tomorrow. So not a lot of leeway rolling in on
a lot going on tomorrow.
Tickets on sale. Lots of shows go on sale tomorrow. So add Underoath to that list. But that is a show you definitely want to go to, and it'll be great to see Spencer and everybody again when they come through town.
What kind of hairdo is Aaron Gillespie going to have?
I don't know.
He's always got something weird going on.
And it's always, because, we've had Underoath in here, 3 times?
It seems like a lot.
And so they're coming in for a 4th. They're so much fun. They're so cool to talk to. They're so great interacting with us and fans, and they're incredibly grateful for our relationship, and we're incredibly grateful for theirs. So make sure you go and grab these tickets on April 2nd. It's going to be one hell of a show. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Important stuff. Pop Culture Smackdown on the way on the X Rocks.
Important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Big J, pretty groundbreaking new study was released that analyzed data involving 50,000 adults over 2 years. And they did this specifically to try to worry about people's mental health and well-being, okay?
Okay.
And they wanted to determine the day and time of the week and season and the kind of effects that had on people's mental health. And the findings revealed that people generally start the day pretty happy. bright frame of mind in the morning. You're experiencing higher levels of happiness. You're pretty satisfied. Odds are you had some pretty decent sleep the night before, and you have a greater sense of worth on your weekdays.
You turned immediately into the morning after?
And life is good.
Yeah.
You're laughing, you're smiling, you're talking back to the radio. You don't know why or how, but you just want to be involved in the topical, entertaining, and informational conversation Nick and Big J have every single morning.
You want to buy concert tickets to the stuff we just announced?
Great. And then at like 11 o'clock, things start to go kind of sideways, Big J.
No.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Seriously, they have found that as your day goes on and as your week goes on, Big J, your mental health becomes less dynamic and a little bit less happy than you were at the beginning of the week. And depending on what's going on the weekends, it can definitely vary, and it can be steady during the week, but there's a significant influence of season on your moods as well. Winter, bad, summer, good. And that shouldn't surprise anybody.
Yeah.
But they did find that there's a definite association with those with mental health and your state of mind and your kind of mental well-being. So take all of that kind of seriously. Seasonal depression is real. You can get caught up in, if you have a bad day, it can ruin your mood. You do start out good, but if you can keep that positive state of mind throughout the day and the week, that's a good thing. Nobody's asking you to be fake about it, but it's easy to find yourself getting derailed from happiness if you allow yourself to do so. You have more control over that than you realize, but don't put some pressure on yourself in order to do so. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I've always had, I've got depression runs in my family, and from an early age, I knew that. And I always tried to keep a positive outlook, like just reinforce that on a day-to-day basis. And you know what? It doesn't win every day, but I think I've won more days than I've lost by doing that.
And that's the thing. There are going to be good days and there are not going to be bad days, but if there are more good than bad, then you're doing okay. Doesn't necessarily mean that you don't need help or there can't be tools or things that you can do to make those things better and those good days a little bit more frequent, but mental health is a serious thing, and nobody's going to fix it for you. That there's a lot of internal reflection you have to do, and there's a lot of work that you have to do, and it's a long process. But at the end of the day, you're better when you're happier, and whatever work you have to put in is worth it. Agree or disagree?
Agreed.
So prioritize that, make it important to you, and it doesn't matter your age, sex, or location. You do have to prioritize your mental health. It's very, very important. Big J, maybe Jimmy Butler's mental health will improve. He has been making it clear to the Miami Heat that he did not want to play. In fact, he was suspended multiple times for missing team flights, walking out of practice, has not suited up for the team since January 21st, and yesterday he was rewarded for that bad behavior. He got traded away to the Golden State Warriors in a multi-team deal. The distraction was a messy end to a good run with the Heat, where Butler played for 5 seasons and appeared in 2 NBA Finals, but really wanted out, wasn't happy with the direction of the team. Now, listen, he's not going on a incredibly amazing Golden State team is the other side to this coin. They've got some work to do themselves, but Jimmy Butler adds another piece to that puzzle, gives them kind of back a big 3, if you will. They did have to lose Andrew Wiggins in the deal, Golden State did, who was their second leading scorer behind Steph Curry, so they're going to need Jimmy Butler to bring up that slack, but if there's one thing he usually can do, it is score. It's whether or not he and Draymond Green can get along, and if the attitude can mesh in that locker room. Jimmy seems to get along okay wherever he goes for about 6 months, and then things go sideways. And I like Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy likes to play basketball.
He does.
Jimmy wears weird shoes.
Until he doesn't. And so we will see how this ends up going. There were a couple other big trades in the NBA yesterday, including Chris Middleton getting shipped off from my Milwaukee Bucks.
How do you feel about that?
Listen, it's sad to see another member of that championship team go. He is an incredible cornerstone of that franchise and did really, really well considering he came out of at that point, the D-League. But he has been injured and inconsistent and just a little bit, and it's very expensive. So I like the fact that this move gives the Bucks some perimeter offense, which is something they need on top of Damian Lillard. Maybe improves them defensively a little bit, maybe gives them some stability in the lineup, and also probably more importantly, frees up some cap space for them to do something in the future. But I have said on multiple occasions, I think if the Bucks do not make some sort of run at the end of this season to give some sort of outlet, if they're one and done in the postseason yet again this year, and they're middle of the pack right now in the East, they're not tearing it up like they have in the last couple of years. If they don't do something, I do think they need to ship off Giannis. I don't want to see him go, But at some point, you need to get something back and let him go
he'll
somewhere.
do a Myles Garrett thing. I mean,
I
except he's got a championship.
I know, and I don't think he'll force his way out, but I think at some point you have to focus on rebuilding, and the Lillard, Giannis. Now listen, something may happen in the postseason. I do not know. I'm not giving up on the team entirely. I'm just saying they have been very inconsistent this year. They've been up and down and losing a lot more than I think people have thought. I think this is the last year you can do something with this team. You've made some moves now. You freed up some space. Does that mean you make another move? I don't know, but they have to do something this year, or they need to blow that team up and start over and get some picks and try to rebuild and let Giannis go on and do his thing. I don't want to see him go. I want him to be a Buck for life. But I also, if the Bucks are going to stink out loud, I'd rather them get something in return in his prime. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And don't do a Luka deal. Please, for God's sakes, get something for the guy in return.
It's time to put Nick in charge.
Thank you. I'll take that gig.
Yeah.
Barnes & Noble plans to open 60 new stores in 2025. Big J, can we get you in a bookstore this year, huh?
Sure.
They opened a record 57 stores last year. New locations include a flagship store in Washington, D.C., more to come in New York, Florida, California. The resurgence of bookstores has attributed to their role as social hubs, especially after the pandemic. The popularity of Book Talk, which is a TikTok community that has boosted book sales, it has made owning physical books much more trendy. And additionally, the American Booksellers Association reported a significant increase in membership and the opening of over 190 independent bookstores within the next 2 years. So independent bookstores are thriving as well. Reading books is cool, Big J. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah, I told
Good for you people.
I've been on that train for 3 years. So did I beat the rush, Big J? Was I ahead of the curve?
I don't think so.
What the hell?
I mean, you've been at it for a couple years now, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been reading books
Last
my
year
whole
you
life.
read 350 books.
But for the
something
last 3 years, I have really wanted to. I have prioritized reading again, yes. But I had never stopped reading. It was just I was only reading on the toilet, and I wanted to improve those numbers, if that made sense. So I've been pooping a lot more. Morning After with Nick and Big J.
That's great.
There's your important stuff. We got your Pop Culture Smackdown next on the X.
Here's Pop Culture Smackdown. Right. On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Yeah, the Mega Morning After Prize continues. A nice little package here. Porta Subs hooking you up with a couple of gift certificates for medium combos. That comes with getting you qualified for a huge platter of Porta Subs. You could use that maybe for a big game coming up here. We also have tickets for you to go to Disturbed. 3 Days Grace and Seven Dust. That's happening February 25th. And you're also qualified for Free Gas Friday. $200 in gas, giving it away tomorrow. Our last run, thanks to Walmart. So all that can be yours if you can beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown. And I know you can do it.
Somebody's got to do it. I'll tell you what, man. Prize packages don't get much bigger than this. So if you want in on all of that stuff that Big J just mentioned, 208-287-1003 is the number you need to call if you would like to play a little game called Pop Culture Smackdown. Big J, any categories people are going to have to know in order to be the best?
No, not today.
All right, well, best of luck
over the place.
to everybody involved. Hello, the X.
you.
Thanks.
Hello,
Hey, what's up, man? What's your name?
Joe.
All right, Joe, you're up first. Good luck, brother.
Axl Rose, lead singer of Guns N' Roses, for a period filled in vocal duties for another classic rock band. Was it AC/DC, Skid Row, or Judas Priest?
AC/DC?
That's right. Nick, a game that has destroyed many a family, Monopoly, first entered the marketplace in what year? Was it 1935, 1947, or 1957?
I feel like it was supposed to be an answer to the Great Depression. I think it was 1935.
That's correct. Yeah, good reasoning. I should stop giving you options.
Yeah, I would not have nailed 1935 out of nowhere. No.
I know. It's messed up if I did that. All right, this modern country legend dabbled in the alternative world under the name Chris Gaines. Was it Garth Brooks, Trace Atkins, or Blake Shelton?
Garth Brooks.
Definitely Garth Brooks. I'm sure Nick played that at some point. We all did.
No, I didn't. Thank God. No.
Nick, Chris Rock's first credited appearance in a movie happened in the late 80s in this movie. What was it?
Hang on. Why is the name escaping me? I know it because Wesley Snipes starred in it. It's about drugs. Why can't I think of the name of the movie?
Credited appearance.
Oh, is he not? Am I in the wrong area
I don't
altogether?
know. I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, is Wesley Snipes in this movie?
No.
Oh, then maybe I'll say CB4.
CB4. No, that was 1993. Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh, never. Right. Nope, never would have got that. What movie was I thinking of?
I forget the name of it, but he was uncredited, and I don't know
He
if
played
Wesley
like
Snipes
a
is in that.
crackhead
But...
in the Wesley Snipes is a drug pin movie.
Oh, that's New Jack City.
New Jack City.
I actually had for you options, but I was like, after your nonsense with the Monopoly thing, it was either Beverly Hills Cop 2, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, or New Jack City.
I would have said New Jack City. 100%. I would have been wrong either way. That means you win, Joe.
Sucker.
Congratulations. You got Disturbed tickets coming your way. You got some Porta Subs coming your way, and you're qualified for a big old party platter from Porta Subs and Free Gas Friday. Hang on one second, man. We'll hook you up with everything you need to know. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We're going to make some Valentine's Day plans with you and Jeff Augusta from Zoo Boise next on the... That is Lincoln Park, Somewhere I Belong, here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. We are very lucky to have an amazing relationship with Zoo Boise here in the Treasure Valley, and it's always nice when we can have our friend Jeff Augusta pop by the studio to talk about some of the cool goings-ons that's happening at Zoo Boise. Good morning, Jeff. How are you, brother?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming in. And, as we approach next week, we've got a holiday that we're looking forward to, a little Valentine's Day action, and Zoo Boise's no stranger to getting a little romantic. You got a pretty special event happening next week, right?
We do. We have Woo at the Zoo that's happening on Thursday. That's next Thursday, the 13th. That's an evening event. It's 21 and over. And it's a very fun event for adults because you get to come and learn about all the exotic ways, sometimes funny, sometimes a little tantalizing, the ways that animals woo each other, how they mate and they date. And then you also get to hear some inside stories about how specifically the Zoo Boise animals have wooed each other, and we'll keep it PG that way.
But it's a fun adult event that you could go in there and have a little romantic night at the zoo and learn about the birds and the bees, I guess, in a different way and in a more specific way about how it goes down at Zoo Boise. And that to me is a fun and interesting and cool event. And how long have you guys been doing something like that?
To be honest, I don't know how long exactly it's been going on. I would guess probably about 5 years.
Okay.
But to be honest, it could have been longer or less than that. The years start blending together when you've been doing stuff for so long.
Amen. We know what that's like, exactly. But it is a really cool and fun event. And I imagine, I don't know how it works behind the scenes there, but I guess I would bet it's probably a fun event to work, right? Like the people that work at the zoo look forward to something like this.
Absolutely, yeah. It's run by our education department, and they are prepping for this months in advance, and they're looking up stuff on their computer. I'm like, I hope nobody sees what you guys... No one's checking your history because some of these photos don't look, and some of the things you're typing in doesn't seem like it's
animal Viagra.
Yeah.
Get these guys ready to go.
There's different things we have to do to ensure species survival. So maybe there is some of that.
But on top of that, and probably making sure that if you don't have the space, that some of them don't get together and have additional kind of offspring in the zoo because you don't have the facilities or the ability to take care of them or something like that.
That's very much true. Once we work with species survival plans. This is getting a little bit more deep in the woods of the science, but it is really interesting. And so they will say, maybe, for example, one of our males, I'm not just random animal, just pick a random animal. His DNA is too spread, it's too much deep into the pool of the genes, and we don't want that. We want to have it diverse so that we don't know what would survive in the wild if we had to release some of these animals into the wild. And so they may say, we're going to implant your female. So we're not going to stop the thing from happening, but at least she's not going to get pregnant.
Yeah, there's so much that goes into like making sure these things are done and done correctly and everybody's taken care of. So I imagine it's probably a pretty educational, but also a fun kind of event for people to take part in.
I would say it's more of a fun event with some education in it. You're exactly right. It's 21 and over, so there will be beer and wine for sale.
Yeah.
You're going to get a nighttime tour. It's after hours, so it's in the evening. The zoo has a different feel during that time. It's a little bit dimmer. Maybe that makes sense for the lighting.
Do you pipe in some music? Some nice.
I'll suggest a little Marvin Gaye or something
Barry
like that
White.
in there. Yeah.
Get it on.
But it's fun. It's a fun one. And if you can't come to that, we have also lots of other good Valentine's Day things. We have the famous Name a Cockroach, where you can name one of our Madagascar hissing cockroaches. I offered to even talk about bringing one in.
He did offer to bring in a cockroach.
Man.
I told
and
him
a mongoose or something to take it out.
No, he just wanted to bring in the gigantic cockroach, and I'm like, I don't. That's exactly what I
We don't need that.
I was like, you can bring it to the other stations if you want to, Jeff, but I don't know if I would be. They give me the heebie-jeebies, man. I get freaked out by them. I don't know what it is.
Snakes, too, over here.
I guess I've been around animals so long, especially working through this, you lose that fear a little bit of it. But anyway, you can name, cockroaches are supposed to survive anything, right?
Yeah, nuclear war.
Right. So if your love is so grand, it can survive anything like a cockroach. You can name a cockroach after it.
I thought it was like you feed the cockroaches to something.
No,
that's what I thought was happening.
There are other zoos that do that, but we took it, Boise nice, Boise kind. We took it the good way.
Yeah, it's not name your ex.
Sorry.
It's name to love your Valentine after something that will be here long after we will.
Right. You can, or your grandma, or your best friend, your gal pal, your
I don't want to
whoever.
shoot holes in this, but I don't think that my wife wants to have a cockroach named after her.
Have you asked her?
No.
Touche, Jeff.
But I'm like, I'm not sure how that's received.
But you get a nice, cute little cheesy digital certificate that goes with it, and it's fun. I mean, we make it. It's tongue in cheek, and people sometimes just name hilarious things after cockroaches because they can.
We talked that there's already a Papa Roach there, right?
There was last year, but nobody has named it again.
All right,
this year.
We got to jump on board and make Papa Roach a thing for sure.
Probably should. You should have a couple honorary like Nick and Big J cockroaches.
Yeah, we are. Pretty gross.
Okay, deal.
All right, look at that.
Deal.
Send us a picture.
Thank you
I
very
will
much.
send you a picture.
We don't want to meet them, but we are happy to have them named after us at the Zoo Boise.
Yes, we love you guys so much that we will, we want this relationship to continue on beyond the nuclear wars or whatever.
You're a good man, Jeff. If people want more information about any of the events happening at Zoo Boise, or if they want to grab tickets to Woo at the Zoo, which is available now, what's the best place to do that?
Yeah,
sir?
just go to zooboise.org, check out our homepage, go to our Facebook page. We're easy to find any of those kind of places.
There's an events tab there at zooboise.org. You can find tickets to it right there directly. Put it into your phone. You're good to go. It's a nice little thing, and it's the night before Valentine's Day, so you can do that as a little pre-Valentine's Day fun and still have a little good time for the actual day itself. It's a great event, and get more information at zooboise.org. Jeff, it's always great to have you come in here, dude. You're welcome anytime. Thank you very much, my man.
I appreciate it.
Of course. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Some headlines on the way on the X.
Nick and Big J.
Headlines are as follows: unretired, compromise, I guess, and meow.
Unretired.
Crayola is bringing back several retired crayons for the first time in its 122-year history, Big J. Would you like to know the 8 colors making a return?
You betcha, man.
Dandelion, Blizzard Blue, Magic Mint, Mulberry, Orange Red, Violet Blue, Lemon Yellow, and of course, Raw Umber.
Mulberry?
Yeah, mulberry, like the bush. Fans can seize all of them with the limited edition Retired Colors 8-count crayon pack. Sounds like Big Crayon's trying to get some money out of your pocket, Big J.
Sounds like it.
We cannot be more excited to bring back this beloved limited edition color collection that will give kids even more opportunities to put their imagination into action, according to Crayola. Big J, of those 8, your favorite color, go.
Mulberry.
All right. What do you think that is?
It's like,
I'm having trouble picturing that color in my
I'm going
mind.
to say it's a dark, like reddish
Okay,
color.
I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to see how right you are. Now, redder than orange red, which is also a color coming back?
Yeah, more like burgundy, I bet.
It looks purple to me.
Okay.
So I would say you're a bit off there. But not bad. Listen, better than I was thinking. I was thinking it was going to be a blue more than anything else. But of course, Blizzard Blue is one of the colors as well. So what do I know? Raw Umber is one that I'm concerned with. I don't know what that means. Raw Umber.
I'm okay with purple, though. My favorite color.
So you would like mulberry?
Yeah. So I said mulberry.
I know you did, but you thought it was a different color altogether. It's like a brown. Raw umber, in case you're curious. Compromise, I guess, or meow?
Meow.
A New Jersey woman is being sued by her town for running a flea bag motel for cats. The lawsuit claims that Maureen Jenkins allows more than 30 feral cats to live at her house at one time, which has become completely overrun by fleas. How bad could it be, Big J? Well, it's so bad that neighboring houses are now infested with fleas, and anybody who comes close to the house is completely bitten by them. Even the mail carrier who has her house on his route has put on a special request asking to skip the house because every time he goes, he comes home covered in fleas. Health officials got a search warrant to enter her home, found 3 dead cats, a rotting raccoon carcass hanging from the roof, and they also found that the feral cats were allowed to roam inside and outside of the house through holes in the roof and the siding. And so now the town's lawsuit seeking to force Jenkins to have her house fumigated, and they would also want her to prevent her from having any other pets. Big J, Judge Big J time. Who do you agree or disagree with? Her house, her rules, or is the town doing the right thing?
I mean, I think the town's doing the right thing.
Can you imagine how many fleas must be in that house for you to come near it? You instantly got fleas all over your body?
It's bad.
Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, shouldn't be.
I thought like you had to come in actual contact with them, but like you're just delivering the mail and you're covered in fleas.
You just look at the house. You got fleas.
Don't like. Wrap it up with compromise, I guess. Two Indian brothers fought over what to do with their father's remains, and they came up with an unusual solution, Big J. When Danye Gosh passed away, two of his sons couldn't agree on the arrangement. The older son insisted the body be cremated. The other one wanted to bury the body. So what do, Big J?
A little bit of both?
Yeah, they cut that body in half. So each son could perform the rites they wanted to see fit with their dad's body.
Ah. Compromise.
The man was cremated per his wishes without being cut in half after the police got involved. They weren't just going to hack this guy in half and give each brother half of their dad. That also seems like a crazy Both brothers agreed to this, by the way. They were both like, yeah, cool, all right, just cut him in half. I'll cremate him and I'll bury him.
Man, who gets the bottom?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Unless you cut him down the side, right? Like halvesies?
Yeah. Oh, God.
From somebody gets the left and somebody gets the right, like it's a Twix or something. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your headlines. You're up to date on everything. Your bad impressions, they're next on the X Rocks.
Dear winner, Toyota can't get enough of you.
Yeah, bad impressions. We have got another Morning After prize package. It's pretty damn awesome. We're going to hook you up with Harlem Globetrotter tickets. That's happening Sunday, February 9th, out at the Ford Idaho Center Arena. It's been a while since the Globetrotters have been here. Excited to have those tickets to hook you up with. And we'll get you qualified for a huge tray of Porta Subs with a couple of medium combos for free. So thank you to Porta Subs for that. And then you're qualified for Free Gas Friday. $200 in gas. We'll give that away tomorrow. Brought to you by Walmart. So all that can be yours if you can figure out bad impressions here right now.
208-287-1003 if you'd like to play bad impressions, which works like this. Big J has 3 clues. They all revolve around somebody pretty famous. If you can figure out who that person is, it is a person today, right?
Yep.
In 3 clues or less, then congratulations. It is you that claims the Globetrotters tickets for Sunday. It is you that gets the free Porta Subs guaranteed and qualified for that big party planner and qualified for Free Gas Friday tomorrow. It's a nice little prize package. Good luck. Hello, the X.
Howdy.
How you doing, man? What's your name?
Chris.
All right, Chris, you're up first. Good luck.
I'm one of those stand-up comedians who isn't afraid to say it like it is. Oh, and I'm from Boston.
I'm going to need another one.
Apparently, my bald chrome dome made people think that Billy Corgan and I are related.
Oh, I just read this. Bill Burr.
There you go.
Nailed it, Chris. Well played, sir. Hang on one second. We'll get you those Globetrotters tickets, those Porta Sub sandwiches, and get you qualified for all that rest of that fun stuff, including Free Gas Friday, courtesy of Walmart Fuel. Hold tight. Big J, what was clue 3, please?
I've got to start in some movies here lately, like Old Dads, The King of Staten Island, and The Mandalorian.
And why is former guest the morning after Bill Burr in the news?
Howie Mandel has officially apologized to Bill Burr and Billy Corgan after an awkward encounter on his podcast when he surprised Bill Burr with the idea that he might be Billy Corgan's half-brother and brought Billy Corgan in, and Bill had no idea any of this was happening. And it was a little unsettling, mostly because Bill Burr's dad, I guess, is a real POS, and so is Billy Corgan's, and they thought maybe they're related. I don't know how much is really accurate in that realm.
I thought there was beef with Bill and Billy before. And
possibly, yeah.
That's why Bill was upset that Billy Corgan was on the show, and that it was really upset. That made him upset, and they were trying to, like, squash the beef there, and it didn't end up happening at all. I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it than maybe we think, but it was certainly, we've had our share of awkward interviews, Big J.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's been that awkward.
No. And it was weird because, it was a real, like, you could, some things are supposed to look like a surprise. This was really a surprise when Billy Corgan walks in, and Bill Burr's like, what the hell's going on? So he called Howie Mandel an a-hole for this whole thing, and then, I don't know, I guess they're still friends, though, because they were just pictured together with Jim Carrey in a Last Supper comedic thing that was for Jim Carrey's birthday, but
How do you stay mad at Howie Mandel, Big J?
Yeah.
He's the voice of
germophobia everywhere.
No, Bobby's World, of course.
Oh yeah,
and good old the Gremlin Mogwai. He's the voice of him. So why can't I think
love
of his
Bill
name?
Burr though.
Of course.
Need that man. Come back to town.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, but always happy to have him on the show. We promise we won't ambush him with anybody else. How about that?
We'll never do it, Bill.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your bad impressions. We will wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks.
3 weeks of store-wide savings.
Poet Society Hurt here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. That wraps everything up for this Thursday. Special thank you to Jeff Augusta for swinging by from Zoo Boise talking about Woo at the Zoo. It's their special Valentine's Day event. It's happening 1 week from tonight out there at Zoo Boise. If you want more information, please check out zooboise.org. Also had a chance to announce a really cool concert coming to town. That would be Underoath on the 2nd of April. Tickets on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. And, of course, that's going to be part of the X's 30th Anniversary Concert Series. Very excited about that. We gave away some Disturbed tickets. That will continue tomorrow. We also got a Nerd Alert from Big J, so it was a solid Thursday show. Big J, that leaves you the floor.
Yeah, Nick, can you use chopsticks?
I cannot.
Aww.
I'm embarrassed by that fact, but it is true. I'm not very good at it.
You can learn.
I mean, I can do it in a remedial way, but like I'm not very good at it, and I get frustrated, and it's like, why would I do that when there's a fork right there? So I am an embarrassment to the people that take me out to any kind of Asian cuisine. My apologies to them in advance.
Yeah, I can pick up a single grain of rice. So
nice.
Today is National Chopstick Day, so today's a chance for you to learn, Nick.
Now, is it about chopsticks or is it about the song that you can play on piano?
No, it's about chopsticks.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, again, I know how to do it. I'm just not very good at it, nor do I want to continue. I'm okay using a fork, and nobody seems to shame me or insult me, so I'm all right with it. I don't need to worry about chopsticks.
Well, now that I know, I will shame you.
Are you somebody that uses chopsticks wherever they go?
Well, when I'm food appropriate,
right?
Like if I'm gonna.
I mean, you and I have had plenty of Chinese food together. You've never insulted me. You must have known I was doing it with a fork. So I think we're all right.
Lazy, but
no, I just I go with the utensil I know how to use better. That's me not wasting my time. But happy Chopsticks Day to those to celebrate. How will you celebrate?
I'm gonna have some sushi.
I bet you won't. But if you do, enjoy it.
All right,
enjoy it. Hey, a quick reminder. Yesterday, we did announce the Pop Evil concert. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
The What Remains tour is coming to town on April 22nd at the Knitting Factory, and Devour the Day, Return to Rust, and Oni are going to be on the show as well. Well, we have a very special pre-sale that's going live here in just a couple minutes. From 10 o'clock today to 10 o'clock tonight. You can actually get yourself tickets to the show before they go on sale to the general public at 10 a.m. So head over to Ticketmaster.com or KnittingFactory.com. Click on the Pop Evil tickets and use the password XROCK. You can buy your tickets in advance with this X's special pre-sale. So take advantage of that. Again, if you want your Pop Evil tickets early, the tickets go on sale at 10 o'clock today until 10 o'clock tonight with the passcode XROCK. Use it and grab your tickets early to Pop Evil. It's going to be a great show. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Hey, that's it for us. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. It's the X Rocks.
When the hot water needs to be